So thank God we managed to start this panel without any technical difficulties, unlike my previous time doing this panel at non-DESICon. But that aside, I've got one question only. How's everyone's DakuCon been so far? That's cool. Not that big of a turnout in terms of audience, but that's okay with me. I'm happy to be here. So for those who don't know me, hello, my name is Preston Plourd. I'm your panelist for today about sim racing. I didn't really think at first that a sim racing panel would be welcome at this kind of 18+ pop culture con, but lo and behold, it was indeed accepted, and I am super happy about it. Thank you all for turning up here today. So let's get to it. So here's some stuff about me. I started uploading videos to YouTube in May of 2012, started writing game reviews in November 2015 on my blogger page. Oh, did my camera just die? Oh, thanks for the picture. Yeah, I think my camera, let me just check the camera. I think it just died. No, it didn't, okay. Yeah. So I joined Silver Soul Gaming in November of 2018 and have since become an affiliate. I joined the Rebel Gaming Club in September of 2019. And a fun fact, the leader of the RGC is the lead singer of the River City Rebels and Step and Razorblades, the former of which you may have heard their music in games like AMP2 and Far Cry 5, was it? I think. I hosted 3 panels during WebCon 2020, which was an online con that was organized when, you know, shit hit the fan in the world, if you know what I'm saying. I hosted my first in-person convention panel at non-DESICon 2023. I co-hosted a gaming and cosplay meetup at Channel 3 Retro Gaming Center with Wesrez and Dr. Despair in September 2022, both of whom are at this con. Hope you get to say hi to them. And I occasionally do volunteer work for the Sports Car Club of America, or SCCA for short. And I've occasionally dabbled in podcasting, Twitch streaming, cosplaying, cosplay photography, and music reviews, among other things. So, what is sim racing? It's a video game genre that simulates auto racing realistically. It's not entirely the same as arcade racing games like Mario Kart, Burnout, Ridge Racer, etc., as the cars handle in a realistic manner and things like tire wear, fuel usage, mechanical damage, etc. are present. For the best feelings of control and immersion, racing sims are best played with a wheel and pedal set rather than with a standard gamepad, keyboard, etc. Now we're going to talk about the history of sim racing, a few important games in the genre. Let's take a look at Revs from 1985. It's believed to be the first racing sim. It simulates British Formula 3, and it originally included only 1 track, but 5 more tracks were added in expansion packs and ports. That game was not really a hugely popular game, but here's one that was. Indianapolis 500: The Simulation from 1989. This is one that my dad played back in the day. It was the first racing sim developed by the Papyrus Design Group, who would go on to mainly develop sim racing games and become one of the most legendary developers in the genre. Development lasted for 18 months and had a budget of $70,000. It included practice and qualifying sessions, as well as races that lasted for 10, 30, 60, or 200 laps. 3 cars were included, with the Penske Chevrolet car being the fastest by default. And there were car setups in the game so you can make the other cars faster. Here's NASCAR Racing from 1994. It's the first NASCAR game developed by Papyrus, and the first NASCAR licensed game to feature more than 1 real-life driver, and included a paint shop which allowed modders to implement drivers that Papyrus were unable to license. It included 9 tracks by default, with 7 new tracks added via an expansion pack. It included 2-player multiplayer via LAN and a dial-up service called Hawaii. Now, if you're a PlayStation fan, chances are you'll know this series. This is the original Gran Turismo from 1997. Well, It came out in 97 in Japan, came everywhere else in 1998. Or at least the States in 98. I gotta look that up again. It's one of the first racing games about collecting and upgrading hundreds of cars, participating in license tests, etc. It included over 140 cars and 11 fictional tracks. Regarded as one of the most realistic racing games on the original PlayStation. And here's Colin McRae Rally from 1998. The first rallying game developed by Codemasters, a publisher that has since been acquired by EA. I think it was like early 2021 they were acquired by EA. Praised for being more realistic than Sega Rally. Not that Sega Rally was bad. Now here's Grand Prix Legends, also from 1998. It simulates the 1967 Formula One season and regarded as one of the most difficult racing sims of all time. I used to play it with my dad, and I got pretty spooked when I saw fire in the car's mirrors. I don't know why, but I did. Now here's NASCAR Racing 2003 season from 2003. The final game ever developed by Papyrus. And it's widely regarded as the greatest NASCAR video game of all time. And it's known for its humongous amount of mods. And mods are still being made for it to this day, whether it be cars or tracks. Here's another one from 2003, F1 Challenge 1999 to 2002. It was developed by ImageSpace Incorporated, who developed other racing games for EA. Regarded by many as the greatest Formula One game of all time. Now here's Richard Burns Rally from 2004. Regarded by many as the most realistic rally sim of all time. Mods are still being made for this game to this day. And it was released roughly 1 year before Richard Burns' death, which, if I remember correctly, was caused by like a brain tumor, I think. Yeah. May he rest in peace. He's still missed to this day, along with Colin McRae. Here's the original Forza Motorsport from 2005. It tried to be better than Gran Turismo 4, and in some ways was. And it included over 200 cars. Here's an example of this game doing something better than Gran Turismo 4. Head damage. Now here's another one from 2005, the original R Factor, which I believe I got for like under $10 recently on Steam. That's a steal. It was developed by ImageSpace Incorporated with the purpose of being a modding playground. And now we're going to 2006, Taka Race Driver 3. It's known for its massive amount of racing disciplines and championships. The last Taka game before the franchise was rebooted into Grid. Now here's iRacing, which I've been addicted to as of late. Not unhealthily addicted, but I play it a lot. Released in 2008. It was developed using the NASCAR Racing 2003 season engine and is not modifiable due to its subscription-based platform, but still has a large number of cars and tracks. It was used by organizations like NASCAR for special races during the early months of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now here are some notable games in the current market. And I'm not including ones that are in early access or anything like that. So you got Assetto Corsa Competizione, Automobilista 2, EA Sports WRC, F125, Forza Motorsport, the 2023 reboot, Gran Turismo 7, Grid Legends, iRacing, Le Mans Ultimate, NASCAR 25, Race Room, R Factor 2, and World of Outlaws Dirt Racing 24. Now some of these aren't really hardcore sims, but they do have realistic elements in them, so I included them in this slide. Now here's some equipment for sim racing. And this is the wheel and pedal setup I use. The Thrustmaster T598, I have the PlayStation version. There's going to be an Xbox version, I believe, sometime either later this year or early next year. I forget which. But this one works on PC, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Usually costs $600 before tax and shipping, although I got mine for $500. It's a direct drive wheel, so the force feedback is more realistic than that on belt-driven and gear-powered wheels. It does not come with a load cell brake pedal. It's sold separately. Hopefully I'll be able to, like I just use the stock pedals right now, but hopefully I'll get like a load cell brake pedal for later down the road. It's gonna take a while because it's a little bit pricey. Now here's a few websites to buy equipment on. Amazon, eBay, the Facebook Marketplace, GameStop, and Best Buy. I should also say that eBay and Facebook Marketplace are especially really good places to find classic wheels, which I've done in the past. I managed to find the Fanatec Speedster 3 for the original Xbox on Facebook Marketplace, and if I remember correctly, there were only like 3 of them being sold at a time. So good thing I bought it quickly. You can also get these on manufacturers' websites like Thrustmaster, Fanatec, Logitech, etc. And now we get into questions and socials. So you can ask me like anything about sim racing. Sorry, let me get closer to the microphone. You can ask me anything about sim racing, or you can ask me anything about like myself, my con-going hobby, the YouTube content I make, just anything you think is appropriate. And I see my buddy over there's got his hand raised.
Where do you think like Need for Speed would fall under, or is that more kind of like an arcade racer?
Well, that's actually a good question. The first one was, if I haven't played it, but from what I've seen on YouTube, it looked like a hybrid of simulation and arcade, because like EA partnered with Road and Track to make the cars fairly realistic. Yeah, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. But yeah, most of the Need for Speed games are pretty arcadey, although like there have been some attempts at like simulation style Need for Speed games like Pro Street and the Shift series. What's up?
So what is the biggest difference between like driving a car in real life and then doing the sim racing, you think?
Well, sim racing is certainly less expensive than driving in real life, and you're not required to wear like shoes or helmets, or like and you don't have to put on a seatbelt or anything. But sim racing can be a really good training tool for like real life racing, especially since like the PlayStation era, where where 3D graphics were becoming the norm and all that stuff. Yeah.
Have you seen those crazy setups that people like custom build, where like if they crash in the game, they close them or something like that?
Yeah, I've seen plenty of motion sims in the past, whether it be like in person or in videos and all that stuff. Actually, when I was at an F1 watch party at the Celtic, which is a pub near where I live, a club called Speed Lab Sim Racing, hopefully I got the name right, showed up with 4 motion sims, and like usually they charge like $25 for 10 minutes or so, but in my case I got to do it for free as part of like a contest that I unfortunately did not place in the top 3 of. We were driving, the game was Assetto Corsa, and we were driving F1 cars around Interlagos in Brazil, and the top 3 would get prizes, and those being a certain amount of free time at their at where they're based, which I can't remember the location off the top of my head. Hopefully I'll get that prize next time, if there is a next time. Yeah.
What current F1 team are you rooting for?
Good question. I'm a Ferrari guy, and sad to see they're not doing so hot.
How are you doing being a Ferrari guy?
I mean, well, I am disappointed that Leclerc and Hamilton aren't like doing so well and getting all the wins that like Verstappen, Piastri, and Norris are getting. I respect the hell out of the aforementioned drivers, Piastri, Norris, and Verstappen. I'm very proud of them for what they've done in F1.
I'm not too much into driving. What team is winning in F1?
Well, McLaren have clinched the Constructors' Championship, and there's like, how many races left in the season? 3, and then it's a 3-way battle for the drivers' championship between Norris, Verstappen, and Piastri, and I think Norris is going to win it, honestly. Any other questions? How much time left do we got?
It's 2 on the button now.
Okay, so 15 minutes. All right. Anybody else got a question or comment? Yeah.
I was thinking, what's your favorite type of sims? Like the track racing or the rally racing?
Definitely track, because I'm still struggling with rally. If I struggle as much as I do with WRC by EA Sports, God only knows how I'll do with Richard Burns Rally.
Yeah, because they announced very recently that Assetto Corsa is going to make a rally game as well.
Yep. Yeah, that one just entered early access on Steam,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly. I haven't got a chance to play it yet, but hopefully I will soon. I've heard great things about it, though.
Yeah.
Anything else?
How much is the hobby for? I guess obviously cheaper than racing real cars, but
Yeah.
on the PC, what's the? Are you just gonna pay for the specialized joystick and wheel or whatever?
If you want a direct drive wheel, it's going to be like at least $600 if you want the T598 new, like I got. Well, mine was 500 at the time, but it got increased to 600 because yay, inflation. But you don't have to get a direct drive setup. There's plenty of low budget wheels out there from companies like Thrustmaster, Fanatec, and Logitech, among other companies. And I don't see myself getting like a motion sim because of like how pricey they are. Like I'm just racing with a T598 on a single screen, and that's good enough for me. Although I might get a virtual reality headset later down the road.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's worth every dollar, but you know, your mileage may vary on that.
So is that like the shifter pedals? Like, are you like running it just like you would a manual transmission car?
Yeah, I use the paddle shifters.
On the okay.
Yeah, the T598 didn't come with like a stick shift or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get a separate attachment for that,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong about that.
Okay.
Would you prefer like the paddle shifter or like a stick shift?
I would greatly prefer the paddles. So,
What company did you say you use currently?
Thrustmaster, the T598.
The T598. Okay.
Yep. And it's the PlayStation version of it, and hopefully I'll get the Xbox version of it later down the road. Because why not, right? Got the PlayStation version for PC Sims and Gran Turismo 7, which I unfortunately do not have at the moment, and then the Xbox version for the backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were still making Gran Turismos.
Yeah.
Turismo 7.
Yep. I don't know when 8's coming out or if there'll be an 8, but we'll see what happens. 7's still getting updates though.
I played 3 when I was a kid, so back to 7.
The last thing I remember was 3, but Gran Turismo 3 was a big deal.
Yeah. 4 was a lot better than 3, but 3 wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was.
I was definitely a Need for Speed person.
Yeah, Need for Speed rocks. I mean, I haven't played Unbound yet, but I'd like to.
My favorite was Most Wanted.
Yeah, that's the 2005 one, right?
Yes, because they came out with a recent one, and it's not
Yeah,
the same.
the Criterion put one out named Most Wanted in 2012.
Yes.
I have that on Steam.
That's the game that made me want to get that BMW, but I didn't.
Yeah, now that you mention Most Wanted, I recently did an eBay search of the 360 version. It's not cheap.
How much is it?
Like, it can be at least 50.
For like an old game. I played it on PC, so I don't know if there's
Yeah.
different sizes for different things.
Yeah, I have the black edition of it on PC, but I'd also like to get a 360 version for like the better graphics and split screen.
Yeah.
That way I can play multiplayer with a friend when like nobody's playing it on their old PCs.
How well does like learning stuff in sim racing translate to real life? Like say that I want to like learn how to like do drifting, and I don't want to slam my entire car into a ditch
Yeah.
in real life. Like, can I possibly learn it through sim racing and then like do it in real life?
I'd say so. There's some games out there that have drifting, like Grid Legends has drifting, and like I mentioned before, like games like Legends aren't really like hardcore sims, but they have realistic elements in them, and there are some like hardcore sims of drifting from like indie developers. Not that I've played them. Maybe I'll play them. I don't know. We'll find out later down the road. But yeah, it can be definitely used as a tool.
It's muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you had the money for a project car, what would you go with?
Project car.
Built from scratch.
That's a question I didn't expect, honestly. I might have a hard time answering this one. Yeah, I don't know if I can answer it because I never really like gave any thought to that. Maybe I'll have an answer for you in the future, but right now I just don't. I'm sorry.
Kind of in a similar question, with Burnout, if the Burnout series not maybe be a sim arcade thing, arcade version of it. It is Rally, but I don't think it's too realistic, right?
Which one? Sorry.
Burnout.
Yeah. Burnout is really on the arcadey side. Although, like I do love me some Burnout. I played 2, 3, Revenge, Paradise. I've never played the original one though, nor Crash. Maybe I'll play the original Burnout one day. I don't know. We'll see. All right. I presume we got like 10 or so minutes left.
7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was off by a little bit. I was absent from school and I learned to count to 10, so.
No worries.
not real. That didn't actually happen. I just wanted to make a joke. So, before we get to any more questions and comments, if any, I don't know what your guys' next con will be. I don't know what mine will be though. So, like, and I say that because like there's lots of stuff is shifting around in my life, and lots of things need my, time and money. So, maybe I'll do this at COAF. Maybe I'll do this at. Wait, I already did it at NDK. So,
You go to Fan Expo.
yeah, Fan Expo maybe. But yeah, I don't know what my con future is at the moment, but there's plenty of social usernames up there if you want to keep in touch with me and check out my YouTube content. If my YouTube content doesn't interest you, no hard feelings. I play a lot more than just sim racing games on my YouTube channel. I have plans to, maybe not plans, but ideas at least, to play like quite a lot of games on my channel, whether it be like racing or puzzle or fighting, shooting, sports, platforming, you name it.
My nephew's completing his card out, just dropped something or other today on Steam. And I was like, dude, you're a con, you don't have to play video games.
So, anybody got anything else before we wrap this up? All right then. Let me check my phone. Let me see how much minutes we got left. All right, so we're concluding this with like 6 minutes to spare. We're concluding this with like 6 minutes to spare. Sorry for not saying that with my mouth close to the mic, but yeah, thank you again for showing up to this panel. Very much appreciated. And like I said, I don't know when the next time I'll be at a con or present a panel will be, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna like go into complete hibernation. Like I'll still be YouTubing. I'll still be on social media, looking to just nerd out with you guys about whatever it is we like. And yeah, not much more to say. Thank you very much for showing up, and I hope the rest of your time at DakuCon is a really good one. Thank you so much.
Woo.